Well, that was a great moment, all right. And of course, behind the
when we spoke to him last week.
We have to just carry on playing, we have to make sure that we make things happen now, because Lords is going to be a very good chance, we've got to really play well. It's not that we don't have the talent, but I've got a lot of confidence in the boys. Hopefully they'll come up.
Welcome to Lords for the second Cornhill Insurance Test match between England and India. England won the first one comprehensively at Edgbaston. The last time these two teams met on this famous ground was when Mohammad Azharuddin put England into bat. They made 653 for 4, and Graham Gooch made 333. It's a numbing thought for any visiting captain. Mohammad Azharuddin talks now with David Gower, and with him also is Michael Atherton.
India winning the toss and deciding to take first use with the ball. So you're defending the batsman who didn't really do the job for you in the first test match, but you're hoping the bowlers will get something out of it.
Well, that's right. We have to play on our stronger points now, because I think the bowlers have done the job, so give them the best use of the wicket.
Now, you've not had a great preparation for this test match, have you? Derbyshire was a bit of a nightmare for you, and also you've now made a couple of changes in the lineup from that first test match.
Well, that's right. Sanjay is unfit, because he got his injury in the last test match. He's still not fit, and we've got new players now, Ganguly and Rahul Dravid, the two debutants. I hope they play very well here.
And the team's looking forward to it. They're confident they can come back here?
Well, yeah, you've got to be confident enough, whatever we did in the past is history, but if we can learn whatever mistakes we made in the last few games, it should stand us in good stead.
Well, history also says that you play quite well here yourself.
Well, let's try my best.
All right, good luck. Thanks, then. Mike, you've lost the toss. Is that a big blow?
Well, I'm quite happy to be batting, to be honest.
And you've made a couple of changes, or one change. Peter Martin comes back into the side. You've left the spinner out. Is that looking at the pitch and conditions overall?
A little bit. The spinner only bowled 14 overs in last year's game. All the seamers took the wickets. Lords can be a kind of swingy ground, so we've gone for the swing bowler.
Now, you started the series brilliantly at Edgbaston. Lords has been a bit of a quandary for you over the years, or for the England side over the years. They don't seem to perform at their best here. You're going to try and break that spell here today?
Well, we won last year, so it'd be nice to carry on from that and hope it inspires our players as well as the opposition's.
Plenty of runs here at Lords 6 years ago. And now here's Geoffrey Boycott to tell us what might lie in store with the pitch for today's game.
Well, I think whoever won the toss this morning, it was a ticklish decision. They'd like to bat because the pitch is flat, and in the last couple of years we've seen a lot of these cracks open. These cracks here, as the weather's been dry, the cracks have opened and the ball has kept low. But I think from India's point of view, it's very fresh this morning. They're not used to this sort of atmosphere. The pitch is fresh. If I just rub my hand, you can see with the atmosphere. And I think the seam bowlers with the new ball can do some damage. They obviously have to bowl well, and they obviously have to catch the catches. But I think that's what Azharuddin is thinking. He doesn't want his batsmen batting. They've had a bad time. They've been batting badly. He doesn't want them demoralised by England bowling well and getting them out too quickly. So he's taking the opportunity for his bowlers to do a bit of damage in this atmosphere with the pitch nice and fresh.
They're the two teams nominated at the toss. Changes for England. Peter Martin comes back into the side. His swing bowling will be valuable here at Lords in these conditions. 4 pace bowlers, Lewis, Cork, Martin and Mullally, and just the one spinner in the side. That's Graham Hick, the off-spinner. He'll be doing all the work when the slow bowling is needed. And for India, Rathore Mongia to open the batting. Now there's a little bit of a gamble. Ganguly is a good, well-organised young player. Then Tendulkar, who made that wonderful century up at Edgbaston. Azharuddin, Jadeja, Dravid makes his debut here. Kumble, Srinath, Mumbre and Prasad. Very good bowlers there, Srinath and Prasad. Just confirmation of what happened at the toss. India won and they'll be in the field. The third umpire is Alan Whitehead. The match referee is Cammy Smith. The international umpire is Darryl Hare. And standing in his last match is Harold Dickie Bird, who was given a wonderful ovation by this big crowd at Lords. He came down through the pavilion and the long room. It was a great moment. Well, a very emotional moment there, not just for Dickie Bird, but for all the people at the ground and everyone watching on television. Not only has he been a character, but he's been a great umpire, and that is the key thing for all the players around the world. We join play now in the first over. Srinath is the bowler from the pavilion end. Michael Atherton is taking strike, and no runs are yet on the board.
Well, there's a tester for Dickie Bird, and he's given it. Michael Atherton out, LBW in the first over of the day. Success for Javagal Srinath and success for his captain, who decided to put England into bat this morning, and they struck at the earliest possible moment.
A bit of a problem for Michael Atherton just getting his feet moving. You see he got stuck in the block hole, never got his feet forward, and that's always a problem for every batsman when you first start. I don't think there's any difficulty there for Dickey. Michael Atherton LBW ball Srinath for naught. If you watch Michael Atherton's feet movement, you'll see here he just gets stuck in the crease. You know, his left foot there is on the batting crease. He's never got anywhere.
Nasser Hussain is the new man at the crease. That's beautifully bowled. Well, England now know that they've got work to do this morning. The evidence of the first 3 overs shows that Srinath and Prasad are going to get things to happen here. This is a beautiful delivery for the final ball of the 3rd over. Alex Stewart off the mark. Well, Dravid is the man under the helmet. 3 runs to Stewart as Dravid came all the way back from short leg to field that ball. And finally, England have some runs on the board. Well, it's not going to be out. There's satisfaction for having produced another very fine delivery.
Well, this is a very difficult delivery to play. That's cut back a long way, hit the top of the pad and carried on to the keeper, but he'll not get that. Out. Oh, lucky to get away with that.
It's another Yorkshire schism here. Geoffrey Boycott gives it out. Dickie Bird says not out.
Very good ball, nicely played, but without any power. Nasser Hussain gets the applause, perhaps for getting off the mark. Well, another appeal, that really cut back.
This really is a good leave in the end from Nasser Hussain. All really bouncing and coming back into the right-hander. Look at where Nayan Mongia takes that ball. Not easy for the batsman out there.
That's well played. Again, over the pitch of the ball, so he could slope the bat backwards, and then you see how damp it is underfoot. That ball would have raced away in dry conditions, but it was very, very greasy underfoot this morning. Another one gets through there. Much quicker this time, and that'll run away for 4. Really well bowled, because it was rather a groping forward defensive shot. It wasn't angled down there as Hussain had done.
Again, runs coming through at 3rd man, but this time Stewart not in control of that shot, playing with the bat a long way away from his body. Again, some late movement for Paras Mamre.
Jager, the man with the binoculars, a very pleasant lunch the other day, sitting next to Mick's mother out at Wormsley, and hearing tales about Australia, the great cricket lovers of our time.
Bowled, but a no ball, that's no good. And you see a really beautiful delivery, except for the fact that he overstepped, but it's gone for 4 runs through that gap. Really turns Hussain round here at thick edge and 4 runs.
Good chance of getting 3 for that. Most frustrating thing, you go past the inside or outside edge several times, and when you bowl a good one in line with middle stump, batsman gets it right off the middle of the bat. That's a welcome relief for Nasser Hussain and for Alex Stewart at the non-striker's end. Short outside the off stump and at no great pace. Quite different from the other things that have been happening.
Yes, and I think it's a big plus for the two England batsmen who've been made to struggle all morning, that have made the Indian captain revert to Kumble, the spinner, on a pitch that's been giving the seamers quite a lot of help. Nice delivery. Yep.
Well, he got him there, and it's mainly because he's now got two men behind square leg, and Nasser Hussain would have decided not to hook last over before lunch. Got himself into a bit of trouble with his footwork.
In the end, it hit him in the ribs, I think. Yeah, just under the arm. Again, lovely ball, but well played, Nasser Hussain. Really waited for it, watched it move off the seam, relaxed the hands, let the ball then run off the face edge of the bat without pushing at him. Beautifully played, with lovely hands that just waited for the ball. You see the ball go here, leg cutter, waited for it, let the ball come to you, and then it won't carry for a catch, it just runs off the face on the floor.
Confident start.
Good shot here by Alex Stewart, standing up tall on that back foot and punching it through the covers. That should do his confidence a world of good.
Beautifully bowled. That really was the original unplayable delivery.
Now this is an absolute chaffer to Nasser Hussain. Angled in from Srinath and just goes like a fast leg break. Very little he can do.
That's 4 runs.
The first real one from Mamre that was up there in the slot, but still very well played by Alex Stewart. Getting that front foot out, not trying to hit it too hard, allowing the ball to come onto the bat, opening the face of the blade to get the placement, and 4 good runs to Alex Stewart.
Good shot. Just got on top of that. Once you get that ball to go down the slope at Lord's, it does the rest all by itself.
A lot more time on this occasion for Hussain to play the shot, gets him to good position, rolls the wrists over and hits it through square leg for 4. Again, like in Edgbaston, he's showing a great deal of maturity.
Wide of Mongia. And it goes very fine, so 4 more.
Nasser Hussain here gets enough bat on this delivery directed towards leg stump from Srinath. Beat the man at fine leg.
There we go. Well, that's a mistake, really, I'm afraid. If it's not an uncommon error here at Lord's. Virtually every bowler who comes to Lord's, before he really gets used to it, tends to bowl from the pavilion end, trying to get the ball straight. But the ball does come down the hill. It is a fact of life here. Oh, that's nicely timed. That's quite a long way up the hill down to that long on boundary. Well, Well, that's been the story of the morning, the story of the early afternoon.
And a beautiful delivery, angled in towards off stump, making the batsman play, leaving him at the very last minute.
Well, they say things about the Indian sign or the Indian bowling, but he's shaking his head as if he actually didn't pick that one up. There's certainly a difference in the trajectory. If you look, Srinath has been hitting the ground pretty hard. Suddenly appears not to pick it up. 67 for 2. Alex Stewart clearly nonplussed there. Good fighting innings. Clearly determined to re-establish himself. Great pick up and throw, and my word, I think that was a chancy run. And really pushing the ball very firmly at Tendulkar at cover.
I think it caught Nasser Hussain by surprise. He hardly got out of the blocks and thought was nearly halfway down the pitch. Nasser Hussain is very, very quick between the wickets, but he wouldn't have made that because he got off slowly.
Short, long hop. Properly dealt with. It looked as if Kumble had stopped it, but in fact either overlapped the line or the ball went over the line. 4 runs. Kumble running from fine leg. A difficult angle there, because the feeling always is that you're running into this perimeter advertising as you cut across the angle. He was never actually coming forward to the ball, always going back and across. 4 runs. Big shout there. Dickie Bird has to consider the angle from which it was bowled.
Well, it's beautifully bowled, and he has troubled Thorpe quite a bit bowling around the wing. He's got enough pace. You see where the ball pitches well outside, it comes inside into the pads. He's appealing for LBW.
Prasad going over the wicket now to Thorpe. Big shout. Very big and quite a confident shout.
What a magnificent delivery when you think it's his first ball loose now. Yeah, but he's looking at the big screen there. Big screen on the ground. The players can turn around and look. This ball pitches on, comes back at Thorpe. I think that's a good shout. They haven't had any look at all with the umpires. Thorpe gets a sort of half forward. Well bowled.
A little bit of acting behind the stumps there. Acting caught behind.
How can you bowl so many good deliveries and not get a wicket?
Well, that's the job of bowling, I suppose. Beat the batsman for 3 balls in a row, and suddenly you see the ball cream to the covers, not with real force, and it's a very slow outfield.
That's width. Can't afford to give Thorpe width. Short or full. Too wide is that. You're killing Will Thorpe if he gives him width.
And Thorpe's best shots to the covers, he's actually playing right down the line. That's the line the ball's coming at him, and he's playing beautiful strokes like that.
Shot. Can't bowl short. They bowled so well this morning when they get the ball up. Not worth bowling short on this pitch.
Grant Thorpe is just the kind of player, and he's coming at a time where if the bowlers experiment, they're going to pay for it.
The ball's moving around so much off the seam. It's very difficult to get an LBW. Let's cut him in two. By the time it's got to the keeper, it's gone a good 2.5, 3 feet. Sourav Ganguly, in his first test match here at Lord's, about to come on the bowl for Srinath. Just a little question mark against his bowling at this level, I would think. Can't do that to Thorpe. Can't really do it to anyone. Short on leg stump, but precisely what it deserved. Got him. Great in the end, but for one awful moment it looked as though it was going to get away. Nasser Hussain has gone and Ganguly has taken the wicket. Out it goes. Oh, that's a good effort, because Mongia couldn't get back for it. That's brilliantly done.
Well, the wicket coming just in the nick of time for India. Ganguly's first wicket, getting a little bit of away movement, and Vikram Rathore seems to be making a habit of this. He did that twice at Edgbaston, again on the second attempt, this time clinging on to a fine catch. 98 for 3 England. Again, the away movement for Ganguly, and Vikram Rathore, luckily for him, keeping his eyes on the ball and taking the catch, and isn't he excited? His first test match wicket. He's done the job for his captain.
Did well to squeeze it out. Well, that needed a bit of nifty footwork. But the net result is England bring up the 100. And that's Graham Hick gone. On the up. Miscue to mid-off. And the crowd is aghast. Not a good shot from Graham Hick, completely miscuing that. Sourav Ganguly has done it again, coming on as the third change bowler.
Well, this is a real poor shot. I mean, Graham Hick could be very disappointed. He looked at the pitch after he played the shot as if something inexplicable had happened, but I'm sorry, you can't blame that on the pitch. That was just purely a lapse in concentration, and the Boston Stranglers suddenly got 2 wickets when the good bowlers were making the batsmen, the England batsmen, play and miss and play and miss. On comes Mr. Ganguly and he's snaffled 2 wickets.
And that's all changed back into India's favour with those 2 quick wickets.
Attempted bounce. He's got a bit excited now with himself. 2 for 7 and he thinks he can bowl everybody out. Should stick to what he's been doing, be a little bit of a golden arm, bowl the line and length, wait for the batsman to make a mistake. I think if he's trying to bounce people out at his pace, he's going to get smacked around.
Well, he's bowled him round the legs. This has been a very fine period for the Indians. Their luck is definitely changing now. Prasad has worked very, very hard indeed for that wicket. As Ronnie Irani looks back over his shoulder at the big screen to work out what went wrong. And the simple story, he's walked too far across his stumps.
Every batsman that plays at Lord's knows the slope is a problem. You're trying to counteract that by getting right over, and he's just got too far. It makes up, as his last 3 wickets that have come for India, makes up for all the good balls they bowled and didn't get anything to show for it.
Michael Atherton has every right to be pensive. Jack Russell averaging just under 28 in Test match cricket. And off the mark. He's managed to squirt that one away down to deep square leg. Well, again, good running. Both Graham Thorpe and Jack Russell keen to pick up singles where they're available. That's sensible cricket when runs can be hard to come by.
Yeah, this is good cricket, not just because it rotates the strike and gets England a single. Remember that throughout the day the ball has been on top of the bat, and then suddenly these fielders are just going to get the fielders and the bowlers thinking a bit that they're not going to have everything their own way.
Well, he's got it away very fine. Inside edge doing most of the damage.
Jack Russell. Good shot. He's got it away in front of square. The fielder was behind. Got a long chase and 4 more runs to Russell. Beautifully placed. Half the battle with Graham Thorpe. He never seems to hit the ball hard. That's a lovely drive off a full toss. But perfectly placed, just split the field.
Well, his eyes must have lit up here, getting this rare full toss from Anil Kumble. He's been in there long enough to be able to dispatch it to the fence. But this is what the England batsmen have done right from the beginning with Kumble. They've looked to attack him.
Beautifully bowled. Jack Russell shuffling and slipping around there. Could do no work at all with that.
It's a brute of a ball from Jawagal Srinath.
No ball call, and to add a little bit of insult to it, 1 for 4 as well.
Well, this one really cut back after pitching. Didn't give Thorpe any room outside that off stump. In the end, getting the top edge and running fine to third man for 4.
Caused him a problem or 2.
And the batsmen have had a torrid time out there. Here Graham Thorpe struck straight on the unmentionables.
And that's through the gap. Just 2 men patrolling the covers. And Jack Russell really walking into that shot. That's worked into space. Two runs to Graham Thorpe. And England reach 150. And something similar again. This time Graham Thorpe settles for 1, but that brings him 50 as well. Exactly 100 balls it's taken him. Short and pulled away. Well, completely unintentionally, Anil Kumble is bowling one of those overs which just says, take me off, please.
And quickly if you're an Indian supporter, but if you're praying for England to do well, then you want to keep him on, because this is just giving England runs.
Well, that's helped on its way rather nicely. Jack Russell very much equal to that one. It seemed to stand up a little bit, banged in very short by Srinath.
Neatly played, and increasingly these England left-handers are finding the big gaps in the outfield.
He seems to be growing in confidence as Jack Russell, getting into good positions now to play away the ball on the onside.
Well, a great side there behind Mick Jagger. Dennis Compton and the great Keith Miller. Oh, that's in the air. And he's got him. Has he got him? It looked like bat or shoulder of bat. It might have been helmet. And there's no fuss from the Indian side out there.
This one really surprised Graham Thorpe. Tendulkar had been bowling gentle swingers, pitching it up, and here he bangs this one in short.
Beautifully timed. That's a lovely shot. Maybe a little adjudication on that. Theoretically, it was very well saved. Ganguly, the fielder. Oh, I think it's a good save. Good work, well done. Very good fighting half century. You have some players who are pretty, and you have some players who are very effective, and if they can all do the job Jack Russell's done here today, it'll be quite something. Well, Prasad was looking for the Yorker there. It finished up as a full-length ball, and Jack Russell gave it some real clobber straight down the ground. Such a good partnership between this pair, Thorpe and Russell. And it's fine enough to beat the man at long leg. Mumbrey in what'll be the last over of this spell, unless he gets a wicket. He's just a little disgruntled, as he has every right to be.
Short, and that short arm jab, mid-wicket pull by Thorpe brings him 4 runs.
Meat and gravy this for Graham Thorpe. Ganguly's pace, ball really not bouncing as much as he would have expected. Thorpe, as usual, gets into a very good position when he plays this shot. Nicely across on that back foot.
Short again. No problem to Jack Russell. Anything short, he's whipped away either through mid-wicket or squarish to the covers, and that's 4 more runs.
Well, enough time here for Jack Russell to go back on that back foot. He had the width as well, so his arms were free, and he found the gap on the offside.
Just 4 more added to take it along to 2:38 for 5 when the umpires offered the light to the batsman, and they went off just as the second new ball was about to be taken. A setback for England with Atherton out in the first over. Then Stewart 20, Hussain 36, Hick 1 and Irani 1. Those 3 wickets falling very quickly, Hussain, Hick and Irani. And the great partnership towards the end with Thorpe 85 and Russell 69. A very good performance, as is shown by the pattern of play here with the partnership. Stewart and Hussain 67. Then Hussain and Thorpe 31. The 3 wickets fell very quickly there. And then Thorpe and Russell with a mixture of lovely stroke play and unorthodoxy from Russell. And they were very, very effective. They were too good for the Indian bowlers in the end. The two at the top there, Srinath, who took 2 for 51, and Prasad 1 for 47, were very good. They bowled beautifully this morning and got no true result for their efforts. And the other wicket taker, Ganguly, 2 for 36. I thought it should have been bowled more than that. He should have come back for a second spell at the pavilion end well before he was brought on later in the day at the nursery, and Tendulkar bowled just 2 overs. We're here now with their thoughts on the day, Geoffrey Boycott and Ravi Shastri.
Ravi, you nearly had us today, but you let us off. We got out of jail.
That's the problem, Jeffrey. We've really not been able to drive home the advantage. You know, I think Azhar, from India's point of view, did the right thing on winning the toss, putting England in, seeing the conditions prevailing, and then had them at 107 for 5. Now that's the time where you've got to really get stuck in. If you had picked up another couple of wickets, you could have bowled out England for less than 160.
But your second string bowling isn't good enough, is it? Cumbley and Mambry, they don't look penetrating to me.
Well, honestly, I feel that's the difference between the two sides. Well, Atherton can fall back on Peter Martin and Alan Mulally. Azharuddin cannot really do the same, and that's what really let England off the hook today, because this partnership of 131 is looking dangerous.
And how could you bowl Cumbley after tea when the two left-handers were set? It gave us easy runs.
I think that was a mistake because it took the pressure off. This was more a wicket for the seamers. Ganguly had done a fine job by picking up 2 wickets, and he had bowled only 6 overs. And he didn't get a bowl till the partnership was well over 100 runs.
But good batting from Thorpe, and Jack Russell, just the man for a crisis. So England just might have enough runs already for India.
Might do. I think great partnership, because full marks to Jack Russell there, because he looked totally different from what he looked in Edgbaston. He played positive, and Graham Thorpe looks to be the player of the series as far as I'm concerned, because he's got a lot of runs in first-class cricket. He looks organised, and he's going to be a handful.
Good day for England.
Very good.
Yes, quite a good day for India, but a better one for England with that great partnership there towards the end. A real face-saver for them. Well, a good day's play here, fluctuating as was the case at Edgbaston in the first Test match. We look forward to the second day's play of this Cornhill Test between India and England. Had an outstanding first day, very good to watch, and fluctuating as was the case with the Test match up at Edgbaston, the first of this 3-match series. This is the card at 238 for 5. The not-out batsman there, Russell 69. And Thorpe 85. That was a very, very good partnership. And England were definitely in trouble at 107 for 5. Nice fight back there. And the bowlers, well, they couldn't quite get through. There's 2 men at the top of the list. Srinath, 2 for 51. It's a fine bowler. And so too Venkat Prasad, 1 for 47 from 20 overs and 6 maidens. They both went past the outside edge but couldn't quite get through. Ganguly, the part-time medium pacer and left-hand batsman, 9 overs, 1 maiden, and 2 for 36. Geoffrey Boycott has a pitch report for us, and into that will come the question of the second new ball being taken by Prasad and Srinath straight away.
Second morning at Lord's, much better for batting. Better atmosphere, better everything. The pitch has changed colour. If we look at it, it's a much whiter colour than yesterday, where there's all that freshness, the rain, the cloud hanging around. And this is what happens to the cracks. As we get more dry weather, you see these cracks, they're opening a bit more, but the edges here get chipped away. When the ball hits those, there's no solidity, it'll just die, and that's where we're getting the low balls from. Again here, you see the cracks are opening, this one here, like a fissure, and when the ball hits these cracks, it'll just die. When it hits the solid part of the pitch, it'll bounce nicely. You can see here also, these are the marks from yesterday. They're now white today. It's almost as if the ball's left an indentation yesterday when it was fresh, and there was a bit of dew on top, a bit of sweating. Now, much better, sun out. I think there'll still be some movement in this pitch for the seam bowlers, but all in all, I think you prefer to bat today than yesterday.
Sounds good for the remaining England batsmen, and we join play now in the first over. It's the second ball. The other girl, Srinath, has the new ball. He's bowling to Russell, and no runs have yet been added to the overnight total.
They go for a very chancy run, and that's hit the stumps. It'll be very close, and the third umpire already is called into action. Thorpe was well on the way. It was Thorpe who wanted the run. You can argue that it's his call. The ball went behind square, so Russell is quite astonished, but sprints away. That's Jadeja, and Thorpe is on the way and home. But it will be a question, I think, of what happened next, because as Thorpe ran through, he stumbled over the body of Jadeja. I can sum that up by saying that England scored 1 run. Beautiful stroke. He really plays those well. Full face to the bat. Much to do with timing.
Glorious way to start the morning for Graham Thorpe. Played some lovely cover drives yesterday. And again here today. Foot right to the pitch of the ball, leaning into it. Lovely piece of timing. And already you can see this outfield is a lot quicker than what it was yesterday morning.
Beautifully bowled. That's the length. And that's the line.
Much better line to Graham Thorpe, looking to tuck him up, because he's one player who loves width. Any sort of width outside that off stump, he's quick to pounce on it.
Well bowled. And Srinath gets his just reward. Fine innings by Graham Thorpe. Wonderful fight back yesterday. One glorious boundary for the covers today. But that was it. Bowled by Srinath for 89. 243 for 6.
This is fully deserved for Javagal Srinath. He's beaten the bat on numerous occasions, but this one really jacking back at Graham Thorpe. Not giving him any room in the end, getting the inner edge and the ball hitting the stumps. Important breakthrough this for India, because Graham Thorpe was the danger man. Didn't get 100, but could well be worth more than 100.
New batsman is Chris Lewis. Four more to Jack Russell. Very quick on that shot.
His approach has been so good, always positive, always on the lookout for runs, and he gets into position quickly. There's a big gap there between mid-on and the man at backwood of square, and he finds it.
Short ball, he's played those well right from the start, and that's 4 runs again. Such a giveaway by India.
This is a very good shot by Jack Russell. This one bouncing on him, but he gets into very good position. Rolls his wrists over, keeps the ball down and finds the gap. All very important runs these.
They seem to think the thing to do with Jack Russell is to come at him around the wicket. Prasad did in the last over. And Srinath is pursuing that policy, as was the case yesterday. Jack Russell doesn't seem to be at all disturbed about it.
He's only got a mid-on, and Jack's very adept at just using the wrists at the last minute. You've just got one man here, so there's bound to be huge gaps. You just got to turn it anywhere to square leg in that area, and that's all he's doing. The bowler really needs a second fielder at mid-wicket here, but he's got a man down for the hook, and then one down at fine leg as well, and he's making it difficult for himself.
And I'd have thought a short forward square leg would be a bit of a must. In fact, we're going to get a long short leg who's coming out to mid-wicket.
Well, straight away, you see, Az has just thought about that, and he's brought himself in here, as I mentioned. He's going to give the ball a little bit more protection, so he can slip out. And then the bowler bowls a rubbish delivery. Short, wide, and it got thumped as it needed to. Now, you can't do a lot about that if you're captain. When you give the bowler a little bit of help on the leg side, and then he bowls it short and wide, and it gets smacked over cover.
Edged away. So an element of a full stroke, but 4 runs nonetheless.
But this is really frustrating for the bowler. Venkatesh Prasad getting the outside edge here. Jack Russell literally walking into that shot. Getting it fine enough to beat third man.
Oh, a friend of mine, Michael Parkinson. Good left-hand batsman was Michael from Barnsley, where Dickie Bird played. We all played together.
Chris Lewis coming back for the second. Jack Russell is adamant he's staying where he is. We had an early morning confusion between Jack Russell and Graham Thorpe, which narrowly avoided a minor disaster, and this time Chris Lewis was the one who was trying to stir things up. That should be it. Jack Russell skating down for the first, coming back for the second. Just check the celebrations. And the entire ground on its feet. A standing ovation, both from the players' balcony and from all the stands around Lord's this morning. Jack Russell's second Test match 100. That's well bowled.
And here Chris Lewis sparring at that one outside the off stump. Almost getting the outside edge. Didn't miss by much.
Jack Russell has given him the task of wandering down towards the pavilion. Could be anything. Might be sun glinting on something, a door that's open should be shut. That's the one, that's the door. Seventh heaven to be able to sprint back to the umpiring position. Good stroke, just a little short arm jab. He's carted that away through mid-wicket quite brilliantly.
Yes, I don't think the bowler meant to bowl it that short. It wasn't an attempted bouncer. He just dragged it down a little bit, and so it sat up nicely for Chris Lewis to belt it through mid-wicket. And that's the second full toss this over his bowl. He bowled one to Jack Russell, and he's bowled another one just when he didn't want it. And it's a number 8 batsman. He's not playing particularly well. In and bounce, that came from nowhere. Full bowled. Because of that slope, you really want to be aiming just a few inches outside off stump. And this is a beautiful delivery. Turned, bounced.
.300 up for England, and that after being put into bat by India. And a good performance. Oh, that was a good delivery. He really ripped through that with his body action and shoulder turn. I think that was 2 yards quicker than normal.
Well, he took off after pitching and almost cut Chris Lewis in half there.
Well, that I would think has to be reasonably close. It was his quicker ball, one that slides at the right-hander. It's Question of whether he was outside, which actually he was, just outside off stump.
Again, Javagal Srinath getting the ball to really pounce on the batsman and hurry on him.
Never know what's best when this happens, whether you should have your ankles wrapped round your ears, or whether you should be up trotting around, up and down the pitch, just to keep the circulation moving, or perhaps to stop it. It's differing opinions in the medical world. One thing you do know is that it hurts. Beautiful ball. Wonderful delivery from Srinath. And too good for the batsman, too good for Mongia as well. Bowlers often think there's no justice in the world. Sometimes they're right. Nope. And Srinath will know better than anyone that that was a wasted effort.
Well, first real loose delivery from Srinath on the leg stump of Chris Lewis, who gets into a nice position, turns his wrist, gets the placement right, and once it goes downhill at Lord's, after beating the fielder, it's 4 runs all the way.
Well, this sums up India's match, I think. Srinath started yesterday morning bowling superbly, getting movement off the pitch without getting the edge, bowled without luck. He's still doing it here in the afternoon of the second day. Jack Russell just reflecting on the pain of that one. Russell's played many of these shots through his innings. Top edge onto the side of the visor. Once again, the batsman very grateful for that little bit of protection. Ah, beautifully taken. Nayan Mongia diving across in front of first slip. Chris Lewis is the man out. And Prasad has picked up the wicket, which India have been seeking for far too long now. England losing that 7th wicket on 326.
Yeah, he was just feeling for this outside off stump. Off comes the hand, no control, and a nice catch.
The edge eventually coming on 326. Dominic Cork is the man to replace Chris Lewis. And beaten. It should be a good contest between Prasad and Dominic Cork. Again, that's something of a leg cutter. It's wide of off stump. That's gone very fine. A little tester for Prasad. And he's not going to make it in time. Jack Russell's been setting himself up for that shot, Geoffrey, hasn't he? He's tried it now a couple of times before that. Just trying to work it round the corner.
Yes, he knows eventually Cumbley's going to bowl him something outside leg stump because Cumbley's not been bowling very well. Sweep him, lap him is easier.
Well fielded.
Jack says thank you very much. Another full toss from Ariel Cumbly. See here, last year this same guy got 100 wickets in county cricket, but I don't think he bowled too many balls like that when he bowled for Northamptonshire.
Big shot for ABW, but the batsman's well forward.
This has to be close for the simple reason why was that the ball didn't bounce too much and hits Dominic Cork very low on his pads, but we've seen it before. Not easy to get that finger out of Dickie's pocket.
That's got him. No problem at all. Prasad actually gets his dessert. Dominic Cork goes. Cork Mongia, Bo Prasad, Nort, 337 for 8.
Well, he's been probing all day and he finally gets his reward. Dominic Cork frustrated there, not being able to open his account, looking for the cover drive, not quite to the pitch of the ball, getting the outside edge, and then Mongia making no mistake. So Venkatesh Prasad picking up his second wicket after lunch.
Peter Martin, the new batsman. In the air, but that's safe, just over the outstretched hands of cover. Races away, up the hill to the grandstand above.
Well, that was hit on the up. It was in the air, but Peter Martin here gets plenty of bat on this one.
It is out. It's caught a bit on. 9th wicket down for 343.
There's only one man in front of the wicket on the onside, and Peter Martin finding him. Sachin Tendulkar making no mistake with that catch, but that was struck sweetly by Martin. And Venkatesh Prasad picks up his 4th wicket. 5 yards either side of Tendulkar, that would have been 4 runs.
Alamulari is the last England batsman. 343 for 9. Jack Russell still there, 123 not out.
Well, Jack Russell has decided it's time for a good heave. That was pitching well outside leg stump. It was safe enough. In fact, probably safe if he didn't make contact.
They're pitching again outside the leg stump and hitting Jack Russell on the pad, but his intentions are pretty clear. He's going to try and get as many runs as possible. He's going to take the chances now.
Straight up in the air. Tendulkar underneath it and judges it perfectly. So Jack Russell is the last England wicket to fall. Finally out for 124.
There's been a gallant innings from Jack Russell. He's going to get standing ovation, and he deserves every bit of it. Came in when England were in a hole. He's got them out of trouble and into a position from where they can put pressure on India.
That's as good an innings as I've seen Jack Russell play, and 89 from Thorpe was cut short this morning when he played on to Schwinard. A very intelligent innings from Lewis. He stayed there for a long time with Russell, and that allowed England to get through to the 344. Tea was taken early, and the bowling figures for the tired bowlers, Schwinard 3 for 76 and Prasad 5 for 76. They got just reward in the end, although they certainly didn't yesterday, and Ganguly took 2 for 49 from 15 overs and 2 maidens. We join the Indian reply now with the 5th ball of the 6th over. Dominic Cork is the bowler. Mongia is taking strike, and there are 6 runs on the board.
Well, it's found its way through. 4 runs and bodies everywhere.
Well, this wasn't a very convincing shot from Mongia. He just prodded at it. I mean, you might say it was half chance of a catch, but
He didn't really play with conviction. You see, he pushes away from his pad, a long way away, tries to stop the shot, but it's too late. He's gone too far.
Nicely pushed away. Peter Martins after that.
It's a nice stroke. He's strong with his pads, plays well on the offside away through cover and extra cover. Now that's a nice stroke. Having clipped Chris Lewis off his pads in the previous over, he's now got Dominic Cork away on the onside. Lovely shot.
Beautifully played off his legs there by Vikram Rathore. Gets into a good position, leaning over it, turns his wrists and gets the placement. Lovely piece of timing.
Nicely stroked away down the ground. Good drive of the ball, Vikram Rathore.
Good positive start this by India. Waiting for the loose delivery, leaving the ones outside the off stump, and when it's pitched up, that's been hit nicely by Vikram Rathore.
Well, that is great. It's just another mark, plus mark for the England fielding and general out cricket. All the exciting things they've done so far in these two matches.
He's always dangerous when he gets the ball to leave the bat, opening out Vikram Rathore here, but then the feature of the English cricket this season, magnificent fielding, brilliant catch there by Nasser Hussain. And Vikram Rathore, who was looking solid out there, falls with 25 runs on the board. Mistake Vikram Rathore makes here is looking to play on the onside, and he would have been better off trying to hit it through mid-off. But Nasser Hussain makes no mistakes. Brilliant.
25 for 1 wicket now, and making his Test match debut as a batsman, Saurabh Ganguly took 2 wickets in the England innings, but this is a step up for him in the batting department.
I think he'd admit that he got it in the middle of the bat, but he didn't quite time it, but it doesn't matter. He rolled those wrists, kept it down. He was never going to get caught out from the shot, and then the slope just takes the ball away. That's well played.
Lovely shot. Very quick onto the back foot. And Mongia met that perfectly with lovely timing through mid-wicket. Here's Ravi Shastri.
Nice juicy half volley this on leg stump. Mongia having no problem in dispatching it to the fence in front of square leg.
Rathore was the man to go. Caught at third slip by Hussain of Cork for 15. But at the moment, it's steady as she goes. Another example of exquisite timing. So little follow through, just a shuffle into line, a lovely swing of the bat. The 50 comes up now, 53 for 1.
And a good solid straight bat from Ganguly. Feature of his batting has been his footwork. been very decisive, nicely behind the ball. Initial movement to go forward, but then quickly rocks back on that back foot.
Great throw. There is an appeal, but Dominic Cork is going into pantomime gear.
Watch Dominic Cork now. It's a direct hit. And watch the batter Mongia. He should be dragging his bat into the crease here. Instead he tries to put it in. Luckily for him, it just touches the ground, but very close, these calls.
Didn't do anything extravagant, but right from the time I saw him in that freezing cold match down Sussex, I thought he looked good. These sunglasses have moved into the spectator fields these days. Rather a natty group. Special sunglasses and the special bow tie. Well, that's close, and he has to go, I'm afraid. Umpire Bird has raised the finger. That was a pretty good delivery. It has darted back at him. The questions Umpire Bird would have had to ask himself were, would it have hit the stumps? And was it the right height?
And this one's come back a long way from Chris Lewis. Very little footwork from Nayan Mongia. He's caught in front of his crease, and that would have hit the stumps. No question about that. Chris Lewis, even before umpire turning around to appeal, knew that umpire Bird would raise the finger. So the Indians lose their second wicket with 59 runs on the board. And out comes the young genius, Sachin Tendulkar.
This is the Mongia wicket. Well, umpire Bird has agreed that it was low enough and straight enough. They were the two requirements. Well, that seemed to come right up the middle of the bat. Things that go down to third man in that fashion sometimes can be said to be a thick edge, but that looked as though it was very well controlled.
Well, this was Chris Lewis's leg spinner slower ball, which he dragged down too short, but Ganguly spotted it. Nice cricket.
It's a good stroke. Quite a long chase for the fielder, but he won't need to worry. He's just going to reach the boundary. It's a good shot. Slightly over-pitched and nicely clipped away.
Good shot. Again, that simple nudge of the bat, all timing. And Peter Martin unable to reach it in time. 4 more runs to Tendulkar.
2 more overs were bowled after that Tendulkar boundary. Took it along to 83 for 2 at the close. I thought Ganguly played very well for his 26. Just a little nervous towards the end there. Tendulkar showed class there again for 16 not out, and they'll resume in the morning. Mongia made 24 and Rathore 15. Bowling figures for England: Lewis 1 for 28, and Cork bowled well again today, 13 over 6 maidens, 1 for 22. Mullally was accurate, Martin 5 overs for 13, and Durrani 2 overs 1 maiden and no wicket for 1. So after 2 days of this Cornhill Test match, England 344, and in reply India 83 for 2, India 261 behind, and the reason they're 261 behind is that splendid performance from Jack Russell. And I talked to him at the end of the second day's play. Jack, that was as good an innings as I've ever seen you play. Unorthodox, but very, very good.
I enjoyed it. You know, I just decided that I'd be positive and go for it. The ball was doing a little bit, especially yesterday. And, you know, if you got bogged down, just try to stick around. I felt as though you'd get a decent ball and get out. So just tried to score as many runs as I could while I was there.
Is it true or apocryphal that when Graham Thorpe came over to say, just hang around, mate, you stalked past him and said, I'm going to be positive. Whack.
Well, I just wanted to be positive and get as many runs as I could. Just go out there and try and take the situation by the scruff of the neck. I thought Thorpe played a really good innings down the other end. He hung around, got stuck in. He's got good technique, difficult guy to get out. And, you know, we put a good partnership together. It was very enjoyable.
Jack, it was lovely to watch. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Some interesting words there from Jack Russell, who made a century for England today and allowed them to get up to 344. And now for their version of the day's events and what might happen tomorrow, here's Ravi Shastri, and with him is Geoffrey Boycott.
Well, now, Geoffrey, the best start by the Indians on the tour so far.
Yeah, they played well. They played very sensibly at the end, more cautious, far better than Edgbaston, where they threw the bat at the ball. But even after that end of play, decent start, it was Jack Russell's day, wasn't it?
I think India gave too many runs in the morning after picking up the wicket of Graham Thorpe that early.
Your second string bowling, again, not good, is it? Cumberly bowled poorly. Full tossers, down the leg side. You can't put pressure on the England batsmen, you see, can you, after Prasad and Srinath?
But what was interesting to see, Geoffrey, today, when the sun came out, the wicket wasn't doing as much as when it was cloudy, when it was darting all over the place. There was a bit of movement for the bowlers.
Have England got enough, India, to bat tomorrow? Have England got enough?
I think they have. They have got a big score, but don't forget, Ganguly made batting look pretty easy. He looked composed and organised, and for a man playing his first test match, tremendous temperament. And Tendulkar is there.
So India depends on Tendulkar.
And Ganguly. I think they need the top order to fire.
Okay, we'll wait and see.
We'll wait and see.
Ravi Shastri and Geoffrey Boycott. Ravi's not winning yet, but there's still some time to go in this match here at Lord's. And it's been a very, very good game. 2 days of fluctuation once again. I suppose that England are just ahead at the moment, but not by very much. And we're looking forward to tomorrow. And we'll be with you on Grandstand BBC One at 10:45 a.m, where the weather forecast is good and hopefully the cricket will be just as good. Feature today, Jack Russell. Lovely innings from him, wonderful attacking and positive innings. And Raymond Illingworth, the chairman of selectors, will have been very pleased with that. And also the fact that it seems from what he's doing now that he's managed to find a disclaimer for the Devon Malcolm statement that never actually appeared the other day. Third day of this Cornhill Test match at Lord's between England and India. We've seen some very good cricket on the first 2 days, and this is the way it looks at the start of play. England 344 all out with Russell, that splendid 124, Thorpe 89, and good bowling in the end, good bowling figures in the end for Prasad, 5 for 76, no luck at the start. Srinath 3 for 76, and Ganguly making an impression in his first Test match, 2 for 49. India 83 for 2. Ganguly is one of the not-out batsmen overnight, and the other is Tendulkar. India 261 runs behind. And here now with this pitch report is Geoffrey Boycott.
Third morning, nice day for cricket. We can just see here where the left arm over Mullally's been running on the pitch a bit, and some of the right arm bowlers around the wicket. But this is a bit too full, and remember, England haven't really got a spinner anyhow. So it's this part of the pitch we're looking at, this crazy paving here. You can see the cracks quite distinctly. I think it's holding together quite well. I've seen it a lot worse than this, and I think that dew and freshness and sweating on the first day has just bound the pitch together better. I think there's quite a lot of runs in here, and the England bowlers are going to have to work hard to get that ball to cut off the seam and off the cracks. All in all, still a good cricket pitch, but a bit better for batting still this Saturday.
Geoffrey Boycott with his pitch report. And one thing to bear in mind is that there's some cloud cover this morning, and that could be to the advantage of the England bowlers. The first of whom is Lewis, who's coming in from the pavilion end. Ganguly is taking strike, and it's the first ball of the day. That's a good start for India. The long leg is very wide, and had no chance really of cutting it off. Oh dear. Pretty well bowled, and in the end no result. It went fast.
Yeah, it did go quick, this. He just flirted at it and it flew very fast at that awkward height. Watch carefully, it hits him more or less chest height, and you always get a bit a bit worried about how to catch it, fingers down or fingers up to the sky, but it was a very poor shot and a good ball.
Ganguly and Tendulkar make a good impression. Ganguly, he's gone on to 44 now. And like that. Almost worth the admission money on its own.
Well, from the moment it left the bowler's hand, this looked like for a full-length delivery, but he just timed it so beautifully.
Don't worry about that one going uphill. He's just turned his wrist beautifully at the moment of impact.
Well, this is the second ball he's guided through there. One off the back foot. And that one meeting it with the face of the bat, just a touch open. The one thing about quality players like Tendulkar, they don't often give you more than one chance. England have had that this morning and put it down.
Is very, very well bowled. Tendulkar was looking good, and he's been beaten by a beauty. Chris Lewis has claimed his wicket, and that is a great moment. Tendulkar looked as though he was doing all the right things, playing defensively, playing straight, and Lewis has got him.
Yeah, it was a good ball because it pitched about off stump and hit off stump, and you say, well, that was a straight ball. Well, not at Lord's with the slope. He was beaten by a really good delivery, and there was nobody more happier than Graham Hick, who raced from second slip to slap Chris Lewis on the back. After dropping Tendulkar, there was always the thought that he might make a big 100. What a good delivery. That's gone up the slope. That's a cracker.
Mohammad Azharuddin, the man coming out now. It looked there as though Chris Lewis rolled his fingers over the top of the ball as well, which would be part of the explanation. 123 for 3 now.
All that effort for nothing. 25 yards of run up. Always helps to hang on to the ball.
Well, I've known batsmen who've gone there and spanked it through the covers for 4.
Well, that one bounced just that little bit more. Just a reminder to Ganguly, as Ravi was saying, he's only halfway there, if that.
An unusual field setting there for Azharuddin. Confirms that the England skipper has done his homework. 2 men just waiting at square leg. Ooh, that's a good stroke. That's not the stroke of a man out of form. It's the stroke of someone running back into it. Nicely stroked away. Well, that'll need a bit of third umpiring, I would think. Brilliantly done. It's a lovely slide. To the naked eye, it looked as though Nasser Hussain had made a brilliant save. Very good save. Now that's the stroke away on the onside. They had the two fielders there, and one's gone now. We're looking from the square on camera. It just shows that it did go into the ground.
I think Mr. Mullally will be, well, I think he'll be fancying his chances a little bit at the Indian captain.
Well, he's done it. The only proper ball he's bowled to Azharuddin this morning. First one was a bouncer well out of reach, and the second one was accounted for him. Not quite a flashback to Edgbaston, but good enough for Mullally. 154 for 4 now. Azharuddin has gone. Ganguly's 54 not out.
Well, that was a pretty poor shot, and I think he'd be disappointed with the way he got out. You're always disappointed when you don't make many runs, but when you get out like this, the ball just spearing across him, I mean, that was way, way too wide to even be having a little dart at. Just a little waft there. And that's a dismal dismissal, really, for a quality player like Azharuddin.
New batsman is Ajay Jadeja.
That's in the air and going to drop safely.
Never in a position here to play the shot. This one hurrying on him. Gets it high on the slice of the black bat. Luckily for him, not quite caring to find leg.
No lack of enthusiasm from Dominic Cork or even Jack Russell and the rest of the slips cordon.
Well, again, definitely worth a shout there. Obviously, Daryl Hare thinking that ball might have just missed leg stump or had a little bit of extra bounce.
He's had such good footwork throughout his innings, played so solid and well and been in control that he doesn't want to let that appeal upset him. It's all right, you can run for that. He's taking evasive action, and that will be 4 leg byes. If you're wondering why, it hit him on the back, I know, but if he's taking evasive action from a short ball, then it is 4 runs.
Jadeja is the man taking strike. He's only made 3 so far. Now there's a man being brought in close in the offside for him. And that's the spot from where they took the man. All these little things will be adding to the frustration of the England side.
Runs here though, just nudged away down the slope. And a nice piece of work from Alan Mullally. Averagely chilly here at Lord's today. A lot of jackets needed, sweaters, hats for warmth rather more than protection from the sun. That's gone fine. And gone for 4.
Well, this was halfway down the pitch. It's all right bowling the odd short ball, but if you keep banging it in halfway down the pitch, then you're really hoping for the batsman to make a mistake.
And 2 boundaries. He's just elegantly squeezed through that offside field.
And a big shot for LBW. Not out.
And this one from Ronnie Irani would have hit the stumps, but what went in favour of the batsman was that might have just pitched outside the leg stump, and definitely did. Another good decision there by Dickie Bird.
That's pulled him. And there you see the virtue of keeping the ball well up to the bat. For the last couple of overs, Jadeja really has been showing half the pace of the bat. He's turned the bat onto the leg side shots. He's eased them square in the offside. And again, the face of the bat closes on the ball, never quite gets to the pitch of it, and over go the stumps.
And that's a good wicket for Irani. He's there mainly as a number 6 batsman, an occasional bowler, and it's a very valuable asset to be a bit of a golden arm, you might say, and just come on and sneak a wicket.
This is Rahul Dravid.
Brilliant innings. He's played wonderfully well. 340 minutes, 237 balls faced, 17 fours, and none better than the last one. Great stroke. 2 superb boundaries in this over. Lovely to watch.
He was in the 90s for a while, and now, having reached his 100, one just gets the feeling he might cut loose. And nothing wrong in that.
That's well bowled. He got right out on the edge of the bowling crease, almost to the return crease, and speared it in at the right-hander.
Good bouncer this from Lewis, equally well played by Rahul Dravid. Dropping his wrists, getting his head out of the way. Good cricket all round.
Well placed. It came pretty much off the face of the bat. And a good combination by the two fielders, one trailing the other. Very well done. Just saved the extra.
It looked as if he was waiting for it. Hit on the shoulder the previous delivery. Lewis banging it in short again, but this time in wonderful position.
250 up for India. Fielder will get across to that. That's good work. And now they get a single. Well, there's no need to throw that. A little bit of aggro out there. Just cost a single.
Well, Ganguly won't mind that at all. Neither would Dravid. But this was played away to Alex Stewart. There's no chance of a run out there, but Alex Stewart still threw the ball and in the end conceded a single.
Well placed, but better than that, well timed. Lovely timing.
Yes, it's noticeable watching Dravid that he's always looking to get on that front foot. He's there very quickly. That's his particular style.
Fine shot, and the hallmark of these innings has been the timing, I think. Getting into good positions and just swinging the bat. Big shout for LBW. No response from umpire Dal here, but Ronnie Irani ran backwards down the pitch, ending nearer to the batsman than the umpire.
Well, I think we'll see this ball nip back up the hill and going down leg side.
That's well bowled, kept well up the bat, but beautifully played too. Lovely soft hands, I think the current phrase is.
He's a useful bowler, is Rani, because he seems to be able to get batsmen to make an odd mistake. He creates a few problems for them to solve.
Well, I must say, it's quite a noisy crowd at Wembley. I think it's still 0-0.
Well, that was a wicked bounce for Jack Russell. At least he's spared the embarrassment of 4 byes going down on the score sheet. Keepers absolutely hated Dickie Bird signalling wides. Yes, he saw that ball kick nastily just as it got to within a yard of Jack Russell. It could have been very uncomfortable. Guided off the face. Chris Lewis is about the only man in the side capable of catching it. And wants to do it all himself. So 3 more. That's a cracking shot. Right off the meat of the bat, beautifully played. He got into such a good position so quickly.
This is a real stylish shot from Rahul Dravid. On the front foot first and then rocking back on that back foot and playing it late.
Dravid is 38, Kumble is the new batsman. Good spell from Mullally. He's varying the angle by coming around the wicket and over the wicket. .300 up for India. They're just 44 behind England now. We are into the later part of the 3rd day. But India have done well to get this far. They were in trouble at one stage. And the roars are still coming. And they're actually coming from Wembley. And there's plenty of joy here at Lord's as well. Not sure I've ever seen this happen at Lord's before. So England have won their soccer match against Spain on penalties. The penalty shootout has gone their way. A dramatic save by Seaman at the end.
Nice shot. That's been the strength of Rahul Dravid's batting today. He's driven very powerfully, very easily through the offside. That's dropped him. It was a very tough chance.
Been a very good catch had he taken this one, because this one really raced off the bat.
And that's his 50. A pleasant task for Mohammad Azharuddin to be applauding yet another fine performance from one of his younger players.
2 lights on the board.
Will he see it through tonight? Another 7 overs after this one. Well bowled. That's in the right position. Chris Lewis cannot believe it.
Might have also just missed leg stump.
Well, nice short ball that aimed at the batsman's body. Made the batsman take some sort of evasive action.
Now Darrell Hare and Dickie Bird, and he needed the one short one, and it was a difficult delivery, and it's brought the umpires to the point where they'll ask the batsman for 16, Jadeja 10, and Dravid also making his debut, as was Ganguly, 56 not out, and Kumble. It was a struggle for him, but he's still there, and India at the moment just 20 behind England. The bowling figures, I thought Lewis was the best. He kept it up there all day, 31 overs, 8 maidens, 2 for 85, and he looked good. He was getting bounce out of the pitch where it wasn't always available for the other bowlers. Cork worked hard, 1 for 95. Mullally bowled pretty well, 29.1 overs, 10 maidens, and 2 for 46. Martin, none for 45. Once he got to the pavilion end, he didn't seem to move the ball off the seam or in the air nearly as much. Irani 1 for 23 and Hick no wicket for 8. That's the way it looks on the third day of the second Cornhill Test at Lord's. England 344. We still haven't finished 2 innings. India 324 for 6 and India 20 behind. Ganguly 131, and I talked with him after the close of play. Great performance today, Saurav, and there'll be tremendous delight back home, I would think.
Yeah, I think so. People will be happy in Calcutta.
Must be a big thrill for you. You're only the 3rd player in the history of the game to make a century on debut on this great ground.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling.
What about the stroke play out there? I had the feeling that you were concentrating very much on playing in the arc between mid-on and mid-off. You played very, very straight all the way through. Is that your general style of play?
Yeah, I want to play a bit straight, and the wicket was seaming around, so I thought it was more important to play straight in England.
It did seem to move around a little bit less today, but there was still some extravagant movement.
Yeah, I think it was moving. I think it did become slightly slower than what it was in the first day.
What was the general plan of campaign? First of all, you had to get past the follow-on mark and then do all sorts of other things. But what was the general plan you had in mind when you walked out there this morning?
When I walked in, I had Sachin with me. I knew he's a good stroke player, so I just had to keep cool myself and not look what he's doing, because he can even hit good balls for 4. So I just wanted to be there as long as I can, and I thought the runs would come.
When you play in Bengal, is that the general style of play you use? Very correct and still have plenty of strokes to play with?
Yeah, we've got a lot of players who play straight, but unfortunately we don't have much players playing for India.
The first Indian player to make a century on debut was Lala Ramanath. Congratulations, you're the 10th now.
Thank you.
Great performance.
Thank you very much.
A wonderful day for Sourav Ganguly, making his debut in Test cricket here at Lord's and hitting 131, including 20 boundaries. Here now, Geoffrey Boycott and Ravi Shastri to talk about him and how they see the rest of the match.
Ravi, India's day at last. 950 million people in India very happy today.
High time, isn't it?
Definitely.
I think the best day of the tour so far. And thanks to Sourav Ganguly and Rahul Dravid, the 2 youngsters. India expected major contributions from Tendulkar and Azharuddin, but that didn't happen. But young Ganguly, outstanding. For his first Test match at Lord's, the kind of temperament he's shown is simply unbelievable.
Well, only 2 other people made 100 at Lord's on debut, and I thought his footwork was excellent, his composure was good, he was tight. I thought his innings was splendid. Now, I'm not unimpressed with Dravid. I think he's got a good chance of making 100 tomorrow. I thought he played really nicely.
And what was most impressive about Dravid was the moment he came into bat, he looked positive, he looked on the lookout for runs, and he took a leaf out of Ganguly's book. He gave him company, he left the balls outside the off stump and made the bowlers bowl at him.
But what about tomorrow then? This pitch getting a little bit better for batting. Can India do anything about beating England?
Well, you got to worry there, Geoffrey. If India go up 80-90 on the... They take a lead of 80-90, Srinath and Prasad might just have a few surprises up their sleeves.
Ooh. Ooh.
A good day for India, and perhaps more to come for them. Although it has been quite slow, it was certainly interesting. The over rate appalling for much of the time, but hopefully that will improve as the game goes on. Welcome to the highlights of the fourth day's play of this Cornhill Test match between England and India. A very good day yesterday, slow at times, but very, very interesting throughout. And this is the way the fourth day began. 324 for 6. There were 35 extras in that total. Everyone into double figures except Kumble at the bottom there, who's still unbeaten. Dravid is 56 not out. And Ganguly bowled by Mullally, but he made 131, and it was a very, very good innings. The bowling, Mullally may well have been the best of the bowlers, although I was impressed by the way Lewis came back and kept getting lift out of the pitch. 31 overs, 8 maidens, 2 for 85 for him, a wicket for Cork. And Mullally's figures, 2 for 46 from 29.1, and that included 10 maidens. So good performance there from Ganguly. It meant that India started the fourth day 20 runs behind. And here now with his pitch report is Geoffrey Boycott.
Fourth morning, and this is the part of the pitch that really matters, where the seamers are going to bowl and where the cracks are opening. We'll see here they haven't opened much further than the last couple of days. The edges are still getting knocked off, but last year, much more hot sunny weather, the pitch dried out, more low balls and the cracks started opening. This year we've had 2 overcast days, and I think it'll stay pretty decent for the batsmen. You'll have to bat badly to get out on this surface now because there's not much pace in it.
Well, that sounds quite good for the 2 batsmen who are going out there at the moment, Kumble and Dravid. And we join them now with the first ball of the day. Mullally is the bowler and Kumble is the man taking straight.
Wide ball.
The wide ball, 4 ball.
Well, just the start India wanted. The batsman didn't have to bother.
Big shout for LBW there. Not out. Dominic Cork, if he's getting that away swing, might just get it to hold up on about middle and leg stump.
Anil Kumble has to be careful because he does come across the stumps when he plays it, and you could see a little bit of leg stump there, but I still think the ball was doing enough for it to miss it.
Well, it was worth bowling at Dravid if he's going to go with a hook shot. It was a little bit quicker.
I just got the feeling here that Dravid was looking to leave it in the first place, but the ball followed him. Good bouncer there from Mullally. Useful runs these for India.
Again, Jack Russell just gets a glove to it. Not his fault this time. It really was an extremely difficult ball to take. Wide, swinging wider, extremely low.
Well, he's had a torrid time this morning. This one again banged in short and moves a long way off the seam. Russell can just get his fingertips to it.
There's a rival for our own Malcolm Ashton with the scorebook there. It's that sort of gentle, sunny Sunday morning. Well, he runs, sneak away again. Amazing performance by England in the field. And India go ahead. 3:45 now, they're ahead by 1. Well bowled by Cork, who keeps the ball up to the bat, draws the man into the stroke, gets the movement, and was very unlucky not to get the edge.
Nice stroke. One of the great features about Dravid batting is that he plays so straight. On the same lines as Ganguly, they're both very straight in defence and they drive nicely on either side of the stumps. 349 for 6 now. 350 up. Well, that has been a good fight back by India.
I rather fancy Michael Atherton's taking Lewis off because he wants him to bowl from the pavilion end. Oh, that's close. That's close. That is out. Well, it's taken a long time to get an LBW from umpire Hare. But that was a good bowling change by Michael Atherton. He sussed out very quickly that Chris Lewis wasn't too happy from the nursery end, and Peter Martin has struck.
This one has either held its own or even come up the hill a fraction. And that was plumb. No problems there for umpire Hare. I would think middle stump about 3 parts of the way up. Shabagol Srinath listed to come in at number 9, batted well up at Edgbaston. Mumbraid is 10 and Venkat Prasad, the last man. That's the break England needed. They were held up yesterday by the partnership between Dravid and Kumble. Now it'll be up to Dravid, even though he's playing in only his first test match. Once again, some swing there for Martin, but it's just eased away. A rather thickish outside edge down to third man by Srinath. Oh, nice stroke. That's the sort of stroke India need from Dravid now, with the tail enders joining him out there.
Dravid's very quickly into his shots. This one, lovely straight drive. That was beautifully bowled. Went very wide of the crease. Deliberately bowled and thought out. Nice bit of pace. He's much happier here. Watching him go just wide of the crease. Tempting Srinath to play a long way wide of off stump, and lovely bounce and carry through to the keeper, Jack Russell.
Nicely taken by Jack Russell, who's had 1 or 2 severe testers already today. The first half hour's play saw some extraordinary goings on behind the stumps. Really had to be a full stretch. Well, might as well turn round and try again, I'm afraid, Chris Lewis. It's close. Very, very close.
Inspiring Ganguly. Well, that's exactly what he was.
Chris Lewis now looking for a short run-up. Just clearing Mullally at mid-on, so it nearly paid off. Miscued by Srinath, but enough bat on it.
Nicely played as well, but I've got to feel that's gift runs. I don't feel that they've got a set plan. Oh, that's bread and butter even for any tail ender, and he's not the worst tail ender in Srinath. With an average over 20, that's not bad at all when you're the strike bowler.
And that's very different. He slipped it through Srinath. The one that went to the boundary down the leg side is followed by that one, which actually darted back a considerable amount down the hill.
Yes, nice little innings there by Srinath. I think he was a bit surprised to get bowled around his legs. Yeah, a little shake of the head there. He couldn't quite understand that. But what happened, he got his foot a little bit too far over.
Paras Mumbre, the new batsman. Now Dravid is still on 79, and he might have to get cracking now if he wants to notch the first instance of two players on debut making a century.
Bowling to Paras Mumbre. And that leg by takes extras to 50. Very fine hand extras has played. Third highest score in the innings. And runs all around the wicket. Buys, leg buys, wides, down the leg side, down the offside. No balls. 8 of them, all a matter of just inches. That's nicely placed. Ronnie Irani will catch that. 3 more.
Rahul Dravid's innings has been full of wristy strokes, and here just is another one. Beautifully clipped off his toes.
That's the one.
That really is the line he should be bowling. The problem with him is when he's bowled a little wide, the ball has done too much, and that's why he tried a couple of deliveries to get the ball to move from leg stump. Didn't quite work. But then that last one, just the right line.
No problems there at all. Simple flourish of the bat, slightly over pitch from Alan Mullally. And the 400 comes up for India. 401 now for 8.
He's just 12 short of his 100 now with this lovely cover drive. Everything right about that. Good correct footwork, foot right out to the pitch of the ball and leaning into it.
Flicked away, over the top, a comfortable boundary.
But this is frustrating for Peter Martin. Every time he delivers the ball outside the off stump, batsman quite prepared to leave it. Ball moving a lot, and here trying for that extra bit of swing from leg stump, and Mumbre having no problem in clipping it over square leg.
Only a fraction away from the end of a dream.
Well, lucky to be still here. Rahul Dravid playing with the bat a long, long away from his body and almost dragging that back onto his leg stump.
Irani now to Mumbre. That's through the offside. Long half volley, and even the number 10 isn't going to miss out on that.
A very good shot for a number 10. Kind of shot that would have done a top order batsman proud. Put right out there to the pitch of the ball, opening the face of the blade.
Dravid is on 93.
Well, I think this is a sensible move by Michael Atherton. He had to take the new ball. Nothing really was happening for the England team. Ooh, that turned the batsman round, and again another lovely outswinger. He does bowl some very good deliveries. Gets close to the stumps, the ball coming on the stumps, but then just going down the slope. The batsman look at and turn it to leg.
95 for him.
It's just the new ball, just hurrying through a little bit quicker. Didn't do very much. I keep saying with the slope at Lords, you don't have to make the ball do too much. The slope helps you out as a bowler. If it holds its line, then it's actually left the batsman, and that's what it's done. 419 for 9 has helped, I should think, lift the spirits in the Indian dressing room.
A little livener as a first ball from Lewis to Venkat Prasad.
And that's not so good. Prasad getting his fingers jammed against the bat, because you always worry when it's a bowler's bowling hand.
Good shot. Mambre is the batsman there, and he's coming back for 3.
In the air and out. So that's the end of it. Very fine performance by India. Bags full of concentration, considerable amount of technique. And Prasad is the man who is gone.
Here Prasad trying to hit this half volley from Dominic Cork over mid-off. Unable to do so, finding the fielder there, Alex Stewart. And in the end, a total of 429 is a very good score.
Well, that's an excellent performance from India to get up to 429. Ganguly 131, and Dravid just 5 short of a century. It would have been a great moment if both of them had been able to make a century on debut in Test cricket, but it wasn't to be. But 429, nice consistent scorecard there. And the bowling figures for England: Lewis 3 for 101, Cork 2 for 112, Mullally 3 for 71, Martin and Irani a wicket each at a cost of 70 and 31 respectively. So this was the state of the game at the end of the Indian innings. England 344, India 429, with those 2 excellent batting performances and the bowling already listed. India 85 runs ahead. We join play now in the England second innings with the first ball. Atherton is on a pair, Javagal Srinath is the bowler, and he's coming in from the pavilion end.
On the pad, arms go up at slip. The umpire's head shakes no.
Again, the length we're talking of, pitching it up to Michael Atherton, but this time striking him outside the off stump. He was on the move.
See that extra bounce. Just look at the keeper take that ball. Reverse palms up in front of the shoulders. And there you see at Lord's, always at the nursery end, there can be surprising bounce. That's the best of Alex Stewart. Always at his best, standing up, giving the ball a real clip to the onside.
Well, that's always been one of Alex Stewart's favourite shots.
Big shout, big appeal. Strong appeal from the bowler, the keeper, first slip, second slip.
This looks to be very close, unless Alex Stewart got an inside edge on it. But it also struck him just outside off stump. With a good delivery and a good shout.
Poor runs. Slips, dive everywhere. But a clear outside edge. Wow, where did that go?
Beautifully bowled by Srinath. Leaving Atherton late. Again, very little footwork from Atherton. You can see his front foot anchored to the crease there.
Oh, my word. A short square leg just on the back foot there.
Well, this seems to be a thick inside edge, and it was in the air long enough.
Oh, well, arms go up again and appeal. Full marks to Srinath. He's got much more out of this pitch with a new ball than any other bowler. And it's a tough time for Michael Atherton.
Well, he's beaten all ends up here. This one comes in a long way.
Good shot, Alex Stewart. Lovely stroke.
Over-pitched again by Venkatesh Prasad and nicely timed by Stewart. Just out of the reach of Sachin Tendulkar, who threw himself to his right.
That'll be a great relief. Nice way to get off it. Cover drive and just a hint of a relieved smile.
Ooh, that kept low on him. Just got an inside edge, I think, there that saved him. This is what you've got to be careful of at Lords these days. The balls that keep low as much as the balls that bounce a lot. You see, the little inside edge saved him, else I think he was a goner.
Well, Geoffrey Boycott keeps telling me there's no ridge. Never has been on this ground, but people keep on getting hit in the fingers at that end.
You are very naughty, Richie. I never tell anybody there isn't a ridge. I know there is because I've batted on it.
Well, it's not looking too good to me, and I'm sitting up here in the comfort of the grandstand. But there's a bit of blood around there, and any time that happens, there's a chance that it's more serious than just an ordinary knock.
Now, what he doesn't want now is another one on the same finger. Now, that would be a problem.
Beautifully bowled. That is a cracking delivery.
Well, they bowl very well first innings, and the England bowlers bowl well when they have the new ball in the hand. If it's hard and shiny, you can make it do one or two things, and what the England openers have to do is survive. Four. Once you drift down the hill at Lords from this pavilion end, then you're going to get smacked away on the leg side.
Now, Anil Kumble to bowl his leg breaks from the nursery end. And nearly through for the first of the innings with that one. That's how he often does, people change of pace.
And that's what the England batsmen haven't been doing, trying to play horizontal bat shots early on. Nothing wrong with this man, Javagal Srinath. Bang on target, again getting some movement and bounce. He's troubled all the batsmen right through the series.
Now that is a good shot. Classic extra cover drive from Michael Atherton. He's starting to get into his stride now.
This is a very good shot. It's the footwork that makes this shot possible. Look how he gets out there to the pitch of the ball, leans on it.
Asking the question in no uncertain terms. Anil Kumble desperate for a wicket, any way he can get it. Can't believe he hasn't got one.
Yeah, this one coming in from Kumble, always dangerous for the batsman to do, but hitting him just enough outside that off stump. Might have even missed off stump. Nicely played this by Stewart, getting up on those toes and then opening the face of the blade. There's no third man, so once it had passed that inner cordon, there's 4 runs all the way.
Oh, that's bowled him. Beautiful delivery from Anil Kumble. That'll keep him in the ratings.
See the delight on his face there. Lovely delivery this to Michael Atherton. A dream delivery. Pitching on leg stump, hitting off. Very little Michael Atherton can do.
And Nasser Hussain is the man on his way out to the middle.
Yeah, Michael Atherton there, not quite getting his front foot forward to be able to smother the spin. The ball sneaking through and hitting off stump, but that really would make Anil Kumble very happy because he struggled on this trip.
Nearly through. That's the Yorker. Unusual to use that term when you're talking about a leg spin bowler, but that's what it is.
That's a delivery he's perfected in the last couple of seasons. Bowls at full length and often surprises the batsman. He uses it very often against tailenders with a lot of success.
Just out of reach of the man at short 4 square. Tendulkar the fielder. Up for England, just 1 wicket down, that of Michael Atherton.
It's a good shot, nice firm push.
That away nicely. Not quite the fluency we normally associate with Stewart, but he's starting to run into form. He's pushing up towards 50 now.
Short, well played. Down the hill, no stopping that one. And that's a pleasant moment for Alex Stewart. Considerable relief for him, and of course your teammates go with you back in Test cricket in a half century. That's a fine shot. Perfect way to play through the short fielders.
Well, a little more air here from Anil Kumble. And Nasser Hussain has pounced on this one. He's given it the full treatment, found the gap between mid-off and cover. 4 runs moment it left the bat. Struck it beautifully.
2 runs.
Four runs. Just the sort of thing that Nasser Hussain would ask for. Full of length. Beautifully played, though.
Shot. Yeah, if you ball half volleys at any pace, but certainly at Mambri's gentle medium pace, you're going to get smacked in Test match cricket. And this is what I say about the Indian attack. Once Prasad and Srinath have had a burst and created problems, there's not too many problems after that.
Nice way to bring up the 50 partnership.
And that's the 100 up for England.
Well, that's well placed. Not only that, pretty well timed. That's running up the hill and beats Sachin Tendulkar to the rope.
Well, straight off the bat, straight out to point. Batsman wasn't absolutely certain what had happened for a moment or two. But Shavagal Srinath has caused him so much confusion that he's finished up with the bat just held out, trying to evade the ball. And the catch has been taken by Rahul Dravid, just moving in from point. Nothing difficult about it. Only difficulty was experienced by Nasser Hussain, who has fallen to Srinath.
Peter Martin, the new batsman, coming in as night watchman. Excellent fielding. Good spirited, competitive dive.
No more runs added, up to the close of play. 113 for 2 England. They're going along well. Nice to see Alex Stewart in there with the runs. 65 not out, and Nasser Hussain unfortunately dismissed, or dismissed in an unfortunate manner, for 28. Atherton out for 17. He's not having things run for him at the moment. He got an absolute cracker from Anil Kumble there that pitched on middle and just hit the outside of off. 2 extras, 113 for 2. And the bowling figures, Srinath bowled well once again. Prasad was hampered by the finger injury. Kumble, not quite back to form yet, but he has produced a couple of excellent deliveries there. 18 overs, 6 maidens, 1 for 36. They desperately need him to be bowling well. Ganguly bowled just the 1 over, and Mumbrey 3 overs for 13. And that's the state of the game after 4 days. England 28 runs ahead, and in the second innings 113 for 2. India 429 all out, and those 2 stars on the left, Ganguly 131 and Dravid 95. So a good day, a little slow on occasions, and just 1 day to go. It doesn't look to me as though there's going to be a result, but more on that now from Geoffrey Boycott and Ravi Shastri.
Ravi, yesterday was Ganguly's day, today was Dravid, wasn't it?
Oh, he played very well. In fact, he looked solid out there for a man playing again his first Test match. Very impressive. He showed a good temperament. He knew his limitations, and he made the England bowlers bowl to it, especially his strengths.
Yes, I thought it was the saddest part of the day, if I could say that. It would be nice to see a bit of history with him getting a century on top of Ganguly. So, let's say you've 2 young players in India now who've batted well, showed composure, good technique. That augurs well after their performance, or the team's performance at Edgbaston, where you were bowled out and beaten badly through the batting not performing. But what about your bowling? You had England 107 for 5 first innings and couldn't knock them out. And now you had a lead of 185 this afternoon, and you've really not got into the England batsmen, have you?
Yes, we've not been able to drive home the advantage because 107 for 5, another couple of wickets at that stage. If we had bowled out England for 160, who knows, this match might have been over. But even today, now 85 the lead, Srinath bowled beautifully and didn't really have the luck, otherwise he could have picked up another couple of wickets. But I think we need the backup strength. We need the third seamer to really come out there and be able to pick up wickets, not just contain, but take wickets. Kumble a lot better today. It was nice to see him picking up that wicket because he's a top-class bowler. It's not nice to see him bowling the way he was in the first 2 test matches, first 3 innings. It's nice to see him coming back. He bowled a beautiful delivery to Arthur.
But how are you going to beat England now?
From here, England will have to play very badly to lose this game because his wicket also has eased out. I think Alex Stewart played extremely well. He looked organised. He seemed to have a lot of time even when he played Srinath and looked solid. But they'll have to really bat badly if they have to lose this game, England.
Yes, I agree on that. Alex Stewart for a century. That might put the cat among the pigeons with Nick Knight waiting in the wings and him only being the reserve. I look forward to tomorrow.
Geoffrey Boycott and Ravi Shastri with their ideas of what might happen tomorrow. And just to remind you that we're highlights of the last day of this Test match at Lord's. It's been a good one so far, slow at times, but interesting throughout. And this is the way it looked at the start of the final day. That's the score, 113 for 2. Stewart is 65. Martin, the night watchman, had to get through 1 or 2 torrid deliveries out there. He's unbeaten on 1. And the men out, Atherton, who had a tough time before Kumble bowled him with an absolute rosiner. He was out for 17, and Nasser Hussain caught Dravid bowled Srinath for 28. Now the bowling figures, Srinath 1 for 29, Prasad none for 31, and Kumble 1 for 36. They're the 3 key men for India today. Ganguly and Mumbre may not bowl at all unless things run along towards a draw, and that is one of the possibilities as we look at the way the game is shaping up. A draw, or the other possibility is an Indian win. Now it's unlikely, but England are just 28 runs ahead and they have 8 wickets in hand, so you'd think a draw is just about a certainty, but if India manage to get a run on them, then anything can happen. Geoffrey Boycott is out in the centre of the ground now, having a look at the pitch, and the pitch itself will have a big bearing on what happens today.
5th morning, final day of the Test match. Let's look at this pitch. You expect some wear and tear, and we've got it. We've got cracks everywhere, but the spinners aren't getting into the game too much. We know the seamers are getting uneven bounce. Now Kumble's trying to hit these worn areas. If he hits here just on the edge, he might cause a few problems, but it's just a touch short of a length. And same here when he goes around the wicket. If he can just hit the edge, that's okay. He might get the batsman playing, but over there, they won't have to play. And these 2 here that I'm looking at, great big foot marks, they're much too full. They're almost half volley length. So even if he gets it in here, well, they should be able to smother it quite easily. We know there's uneven bounce, and that's a problem here at Lord's. The pitch, the square, is very tired, and they've been digging up the square of certain pitches each autumn. This is due to be dug up in the autumn this year. And what I'll show you here is the pitch that we're going to use for the Test match next year. This is it. It's been relayed 3 years ago. Lovely grass covering. The groundsman's very happy with it. What they're trying to get is even bounce. None of these low balls and high balls, something that goes through fairly true and with a bit of pace. It's going to be used in the Benson Hedges final, so we should get a pretty good idea about this pitch, but this is it for next year, England v Australia.
Geoffrey Boycott with his words and thoughts about the way the pitch might play on this final day. And we join it now with the 4th ball of the 2nd over. Shavagal Srinath is the bowler. Alex Stewart is taking strike.
Oh, got him. Well, 4 balls it's taken. Alex Stewart bowled. A little bit of inside edge pad and the ball ending up on the stumps. Bowled for 66.
Well, bingo. We thought he'd be ready by the 4th ball, and here it is. Not much of a delivery, but Stewart playing away from his body, getting the inner edge, and the ball hitting the stumps. Just what India need, a wicket early on.
Enough of a gap between bat and pad. Having to play a little bit away from the body. Didn't really get out there, but even so, the inside edge comes back onto the thigh, onto the stumps. And that's what counts as far as Javagal Srinath is concerned. Graham Thorpe is out there to replace Alex Stewart. Peter Martin just on one, the night watchman. Well, at the end of all that, Peter Martin managed to keep his ground. Nicely taken by Nyan Mongia.
Oh, this is excellent glove work by Nyan Mongia. Peter Martin doing very well to still keep that back foot anchored on the crease.
Edged away. Oh, 4 runs for Peter Martin, not very convincing ones. Just something to relieve the tension as far as he's concerned.
A little bit of width here. He gets the outside edge.
Nice shot. Very deft indeed. Just waited for that to arrive, used all the pace of the ball and guided it perfectly.
Oh, this is a delightful shot by Graham Thorpe. Look how late he plays it. That's why he gets the placement right. Rocks back the very last minute, just as it was going into the keeper's gloves. Taps down on it.
Oh, that'll bring back memories for Peter Martin of his innings last year against the West Indies. And that one adjudged high enough to be called a bouncer.
Well, I didn't exactly mean it to go there, but it sort of slipped off the face a little bit. Wasn't a chance at all.
That's a little humdinger. Beautifully bowled. Just drew him into the stroke.
Yes, it is. Like I mentioned, it's about 4 or 5 inches outside off stump only. Thorpe's got to play.
Four more. And Martin goes now into double figures. And he's been out there an hour. And that is really frustrating for India. It was a no ball, but it was a devilish delivery. Reared at Graham Thorpe. He played it very well in the end.
Well, that adds a little bit of insult to the good balls that he's bowled. Srinath's bowled 1 or 2 beauties at Graham Thorpe. Then when he gets an edge, it's a thick edge. Doesn't fly to the slips. Flies straight in the gap.
Once again, it was pretty well played. .344 and 150 for 3 against 429. England 65 ahead now. Kumble from the nursery end to Thorpe. Tendulkar the fielder. That'll race away from him down the hill. The big difference when you're hitting it down that side towards the tavern or the mound stand compared with when you're hitting it up towards the northeast corner where it slows down. This way it just gathers pace. Oh, bowled. and looked as though it was well caught. Brilliant stuff. What a good performance that was. That was a hell of a delivery. Just like a striking snake, and Thorpe tried to fend it down. Almost did so. That's a great catch. I thought the man at short square. Kumble really put a bit into that one. It was slightly more round arm and it jumped at the batsman. Very well bowled and brilliantly caught.
I've got to give credit to the bowler for making the ball jump at Graham Thorpe. Really ripped it, and just a brilliant catch.
Well, it's 154 for 4 now. Peter Martin is still there.
Very fluent shot that by Peter Martin, and 4 more runs square on the offside.
Well, the night watchman is still there. He's lost 2 of his senior colleagues, but he's growing in confidence. And this really is a beautiful shot. They've done a top order batsman proud.
Oh, little nick, and not quite carrying to the keeper.
Well, again, the Prasad leg cutter getting the edge, falling just in front of Nayan Mungia, who's diving away to his right.
Fine shot from Graham Hick. Just got on top of it and belted it square of the off stump.
Yes, it's his own sort of shot. It's half a back foot square cut and it's half a late cut. Just keeps the ball down. Nicely played.
Beautifully bowled this time, though. Graham Hick unable to do anything about that. Tried to stop the shot halfway through. And this one just looped through. So the ideal response from Venkat Prasad. Graham Hick, after that one glorious shot, finds himself on his way back to the pavilion for just 6 runs.
I'm not sure if any batsman could have played that much better. Or you'd hope just to maybe get on top of it and play it down, but I think there's no real criticism of Graham Hick there.
And the pressure now on Ronnie Irani, playing in his 2nd Test match, accompanied by the night watchman Peter Martin, who's actually coped with things as well as anyone this morning.
Ball.
Big shout. And that'll be worth seeing again for sure.
Yeah, I think that just probably was going down leg side. It ran in, looked like a top spinner that just ran up the hill a little bit, and I think that's a good decision. See where the keeper's going, that gives you a good idea. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that that was a good decision by Dickie Bird, just going down. I don't think Raymond or the coach will be too impressed if Peter Martin gets out with a flowing or flashing drive. They want him to hang around as long as possible.
Got him. Well, that's the end of Peter Martin's hanging around. Similar sort of dismissal as did for Graham Hick. And Peter Martin's resistance after an hour and 3/4 this morning comes to an end, comfortably caught by Vikram Rathore at 2nd slip. And problems for the management. Nothing they can do, it's all the players.
Well, this is another good delivery. That leg cutter bounces, leaves him, gets Peter Martin playing away from his body, and he was comfortably caught. But the bowler, give him credit again. He's just got enough lift. See, it's up there, chest high, and just leaving the batsman. Great delivery. And eventually Peter Martin manages to touch one.
Russell with 124 in the first innings. Played in very positive fashion there. And I would suggest he's going to try and look to play exactly the same way again this afternoon.
A good stroke. Rani has got that away through extra cover. And they'll pick up 3. One moment, not only Ronnie Irani's heart would have been in his mouth, but everyone in the dressing room as well. It was a real miscue.
And dangerous too. There is a man back there on the fence exactly for a shot like this. Could have gone anywhere. Luckily for him, landed safely, well short of the fielder, a deep square leg.
Looked as though it might just have carried. Could have been a half volley. You'd need the replay to get a clear view of that.
Srinath opening up Ronnie Irani here. I think the thickish outside edge and a very difficult catch here to Vikram Rathod, just about carrying to him.
It's a good shot. Waited on that with that shuffle around the crease and picked it off.
This is nicely played by Jack Russell, right back on his stumps and across, rolling the wrists over, just using the pace of Srinath's delivery, running fine enough to beat the fielder a deep fine leg.
The lead is now 101. That'll be a relief, even if only a psychological one for England. Just out of reach. There are a few heart tremors out there at the moment. There may come a time later in the day where we wonder what all the fuss was about, but things are not too good out there for England.
Good shot. Well, nice and firm, straight down the ground through mid-off. And of course the important thing with the new ball, give it time maybe to swing. But Srinath gave it just a little bit too much. That's a better shot on the up again. And 4 more.
That's a better shot, is that, off the back foot. Very positive, aggressive player, likes to get on with it.
And the single brings up 200. 200 for 6. Well, that struck home. It's a moral victory, if not a wicket, for Javagal Srinath. A very unpleasant delivery. Nipping back up the slope. That sort of delivery is never fun for anyone. There wasn't much Jack Russell could have done about it.
And the arms go up, and Dickie Bird indicates that the ball flicked off the right shoulder.
And another very good decision from umpire Dickie Bird. Never easy.
Fine shot. Still great flourish. It's rather a cramped shot that Irani plays, but it's obviously his style, and right through the gap, and that's 4 runs.
He's played some lovely shots of the back foot. This is a strong punch on the offside. He's a strong man. This was very well timed.
Well, that's a big shout. I've not seen Darrell Hare give a decision at all. I'm not sure if he's got any arms, actually.
Well, this one would have hit, but what must have gone in favour of Jack Russell was that it might have just pitched outside the leg stump.
Absolutely right. And a very good decision.
Not quite the slide they have in the aerobic and sliding fielding textbook. Mumbre's day so far. Yes, it was Ronnie Irani who spotted that there'd been a fielding error there. Went back for the 3rd run.
Close.
That was close. That kept low. He might just have got outside off stump, but certainly not by much.
They haven't had much luck with LBW decisions, haven't the Indians? It's just the rub of the green. Now then, is that on off stump or outside? Take
I think
your
he's
choice.
just outside. All sorts of shouts there. Umpire Hare is unmoved. Anil Kumble is unhappy.
Well, he's very excited about this attempted bat and pad, but my impression was that it maybe just hit the pad, but Jack Russell didn't seem to want to know, but that doesn't mean a lot. More important, the umpire shakes his head.
He's gone. Maybe an inside edge. Irani has gone for 41. It's a little too late for the Indians. But Ronnie Irani would be very disappointed at that, but he has played well. Not too often you get the opportunity to save your side in a test match or play a hand in the saving of it. He's done that today. Very big inside edge.
Yeah, the ball kept low more than anything. That's what did him. The lowness of the ball.
Chris Lewis is the new batsman. Coming in now, 2:28 for 7.
And more runs here from him off the edge, but all along the ground. And running away for 4. More crowd trouble being sorted out. Quick piece of work from Nayan Mongia.
One just got a feeling that he removed it a little bit too quickly, because watch what happens after he takes the bails off. There's a jump there from Russell, so had he waited for a couple of seconds and then done it, well, we could have had a decision from the umpire.
Jumped at him a little in much the same way as the one jumped at Graham Thorpe earlier in the day. Nicely placed. It looks as though Michael Atherton's finger's not too bad. good shot by Lewis. It'll race down towards the tavern, no doubt about that. Nice stroke. Oh, he's gone, and Ganguly, brought on so late by Azharuddin, has struck again. He picked up 2 wickets in the first innings. Should have been on earlier. A player full of confidence at the moment, and he slipped through Jack Russell's defence to have him LBW after he'd faced 136 balls. That's good cricket from Ganguly.
Yes, it's been Ganguly's match. A couple of wickets, a century, and he has been brought on too late. It's one of those little golden arms. The ball just offered to come into Jack Russell.
And it's 274 for 8. Russell out for 38. Lewis is unbeaten on 23 with Cork. All sorts of shouts there, and he's picked up Cork, so this is a good day for Anil Kumble as well. Little push forward, and Kumble has looked much better today. He seems to have got his run-up and action sorted out, and much more impressive.
Today's cricket would do his confidence a world of good. Snapping up Dominic Cork here. Again, getting the ball to bounce.
Straight up off the pad, straight onto the glove, and a good catch. 3 more runs added after Dominic Cork's dismissal there. 278 for 9 at the close, England. A very good performance. They were in deep trouble at one stage, and then Ronnie Irani and Jack Russell got them out of it with a splendid partnership. 41 for Irani, who I thought looked very impressive. He was impressive at Edgbaston in a different role, and he looked good again today. Jack Russell 38, a great double for him. And Chris Lewis 26 not out. That is a very, very strong batting order when you have Lewis coming in at 9 and Cork at 10. Mullally was unbeaten with Lewis there, 278 for 9. And the bowling figures, well, those 3 top bowlers tried very hard. Kumble is running back into form. He bowled pretty well out there today, 51 overs, 14 maidens, and 3 for 90. And Srinath and Prasad, we've seen them bowl well all through the summer. Today, they were just as good, but I do suspect they're getting a little tired now. Srinath 29 overs, Prasad 24 with an injured finger, and each of them took 2 wickets. And right at the close of play, there was a most emotional moment when Harold Bird left the Test match arena for the last time. Congratulations from all the players, the captains and spectators running onto the field, and as you might expect, a rather tearful moment for Dickie. And there are many sad moments in Test match cricket, and have been down the years, but today won't be all that much sadness for England because they got out of it very well. 344 and 278 for 9. India 429 all out. They had a good match after their defeat at Edgbaston. Ganguly 131. He took 2 for 49. He got a wicket late in the day here, and Dravid 95. So there's some good things for both sides there. But the fact remains that the game was drawn, and England lead the series 1-0. And here now is Geoffrey Boycott, and with him Ravi Shastri to talk about the day.
Ravi, after the last Test match, I want to take my hat off to India. They played splendidly at Lord's here, and they gave England a fright.
I wonder where you were, Geoffrey, at lunchtime. I was looking for you. You weren't there. You had your heart in your mouth, didn't you?
Well, we had Jack Russell to back, you know, and Ronnie Irani. I thought those were the 2 key players today. Played really well. I don't think you got the best of luck with the decisions in this Test match.
I think even in the last one, it really didn't go India's way, but a terrific performance. They were outplayed in Edgbaston. They got a drubbing at the hands of Derbyshire in the 4-day game. But to bounce back the way they did, full credit to the players and the team.
And particularly Ganguly and Dravid. I think they were the inspirational players for India to give you a good, solid batting performance.
Well, they taught a lesson to some of the senior players on how to apply yourself, how to be patient, and let the bowlers bowl to your strength.
Right, so you got the look of the toss on the first day. Didn't quite make as much use of it or have as much luck bowling well as you could have done with. But you've given us a fright. Next Test match to come, can you go one better and win?
I would like to see England preparing another wicket with a little bit of grass on it. It'll be interesting because that'll give India a chance to bounce back 1-1 in the series.
Ooh, I'll wait and see.
Big difference, isn't it, Geoffrey?
At the presentation ceremony, Bob Willis, the adjudicator, nominated Jack Russell as man of the match. Ray Trean of Cornhill presented Dickie Bird with a commemorative plaque, and a very nice one it was. David Gower then spoke with the two skippers and the man of the match.
Michael, in the end, a tough last day there for you.
Yeah, very much so. I was quite happy to come out of the game with a draw. I thought we had the worst of the conditions to bat in, both on the first and at the end of the game. And you know, if you're not going to win a test match, you've got to make sure you don't lose it.
Now, many people would have been expecting at the start of this match England to build on that 1-0 lead in the series. It hasn't happened. Is that going to be too much of a disappointment?
No, not really. I mean, when you look at the conditions that we've had to bat in twice in the game, they've been testing conditions, I think, against any side. India have got two fine opening bowlers, made life difficult. So, as I say, I'm quite happy to come out of the game with a draw. After
Edgbaston, they looked very much down and out, but they found two young players to come back and show some fight. How impressed were you by their performances?
Well, they played very well, particularly Ganguly coming in at number 3. It's not an easy position to come in your first game. He got magnificent 100, and obviously Dravid coming in at 7 strengthened the lower order for them, and they got a competitive total.
And for your own side, it needed Jack Russell to be at his best in both innings. What more can you say about him?
Well, he's tremendous to have coming in at 7 for us. He's a great fighter with the bat. He realises the importance as much as anybody in the side of adding a bit of steel. You know, 2-3 years ago we were a side that was getting beaten too often. I think over the last couple of years we've had a bit more steel there, and we're not getting beaten so often now.
Move on to the Indian captain. Azhar, a very different performance this one for your side.
Well, yeah, I think looking back at the test match at Edgbaston and the performance at Derby, I think you did very good here. I mean, I think I was a little bit disappointed with the way things went in the end, but that's how the game is played, and I mean, I'm a little disappointed as well that we couldn't force a win.
Yeah, because the game started well for you. Won the toss, which, with hindsight, looked a very good thing to have done. But then you didn't have much luck on that first morning, did you? Because I thought at one stage that England really were very lucky not to be, say, 50 for 5 at lunch on that first day.
Well, yeah, that's right. You know, I mean, I think Srinath and Prasad really bowled well on that morning, and I mean, we had them at 107 for 5, but just let them go. I think Jack Russell and Graham Thorpe played very well in that period of time, and they just got them out of trouble.
Now, how optimistic were you this morning? You needed quick wickets. You got one in the first over. What did you think was going to happen next?
Well, yeah, I was very optimistic in the morning because I knew the wicket was not, playing easy, you know, because it was variable bounce, and sometimes the ball was just climbing up and then it was keeping low as well. And it turned as well yesterday when Anil was bowling, so I was really very optimistic. And it's just that we couldn't get wickets after lunch, which was very, very important for us. And if we had got a couple of wickets during that period of time, I mean, we could have gone for a win.
OK, we better talk about your two star performers with the bat, Sourav Ganguly and Rahul Dravid. Wonderful debuts for the two of them.
Well, yeah, I think I was very disappointed with Rahul because he couldn't get 100, you know, I mean, like getting to 95, you know, he batted so well and going at number 7, and he had the support of the tailenders, you know, it was not a very easy thing, but I think he'll definitely get another 100 in Trent Bridge, but I think the star was Sourav Ganguly. I think he really batted well, he applied himself, and I mean, he was relaxed when he played, that was more important for him.
Yes, he looked very, very competent indeed. Lovely temperament he showed there.
Well, that's right, you know, he played some cracking shots.
Now, the final test match, a 1-0 down, 1 to play. What hopes have you got?
Well, I mean, if you can play like this, you know, I mean, at Trent Bridge also, I mean, we'll definitely try our best, and then we can force a win still, you know.
Well, we'll look forward and see what happens. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
OK, thanks, Evan. Jack, many congratulations. Another Man of the Match award. Two very contrasting innings, though.
Yeah, two different situations. You know, we're in a spot above the early doors. I just wanted to go out and be positive and get as many runs as I could. It was doing a little bit, so it's just a case of being positive and get as many as possible. If you hung around and just stayed in for a while, I felt that you'd get a decent ball at some stage and get out. So just trying to take the attack to them a little bit, and fortunately for me it worked. Second time round it was more of a dig in and try and survive.
Yes, because the contrast was very stark between these innings here and the one at Birmingham, where you looked, shall we say, out of sorts.
Well, I've been playing like that for a while. It's just that I got out early on, and early in my innings I've just tried to stay in and try and squirt a few runs and not give it away too early on. But on that occasion I should have kept out a decent Yorker, but it wasn't to be.
Now, both these innings here came under pressure. First innings, England had lost a lot of wickets. Second innings, guess what? England lost more wickets again. Do you enjoy batting with that extra pressure?
Well, I've had it for most of my career, really. You know, when you're batting down at 7 or 8, you're often in tight situations, various types of situations, and you know, you get used to it after a few years doing it. But I enjoy it. Maybe it brings the best out of me, I don't know, but you know, I enjoy the challenge.
Now, Bob Willis mentioned your wicket-keeping as well. Are you happy with that?
Wasn't bad. It was a little bit difficult. The ball was swinging around a lot after it pitched, which it seems to be doing a lot this year for some reason. I think it's the batch of balls. Scientifically, maybe somebody could look into it and find out the reason. It'd be interesting to know why. But you get used to that, and it's not the easiest ground to keep wicket on. So overall, not too bad.
Anyway, lovely. Welcome. Congratulations.
Thanks, David.
Very interesting to listen to Michael Atherton there and have him talk about the fact that if you can't win a test match, you've got to make sure you're not beaten. And he did add that there have been times when England have been beaten when they shouldn't have been in recent years. Now, he's looking forward to the Ashes battle next year, but he does have the extra test coming up against India and then the short series against Pakistan as well. But a very, very interesting interview. So too is the one coming up now with David Gower, where he talks with Dickie Bird.
Well, Dickie, it's all over. How does it feel now?
It's all over, mate, but I shall miss it, there's no question. I mean, it's been my life, David, as you know that, and I don't know what I'm going to do, mate. I hope that I shall be involved in some capacity in the game, but we'll have to wait and see. I've still one season left on the county circuit, that's next summer, and then from there I just don't know, David.
Well, that's still a lot of games, Harold. I mean, you've still got plenty of work to do. Have you actually been able to enjoy this match?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. I think what I shall always remember, David, is the crowd, the reception I got that first morning when I walked out there, down the steps, through the long room where all the members are sat in the long chairs, then out onto the green here at Lord's. I shed a few tears. It's been a tremendous occasion for me, and the letters and best wishes that I've had from all over the world. I think there's about 4 sacks in the umpire's room there. I don't know how I'm going to get through them all, but I shall try and answer everyone when I get the chance.
And do you think it was a good last game?
Yes, I've enjoyed it. I think that at lunchtime it looked as if India were going to win the test match. At lunchtime I thought, it's India's test.
Now, you've probably got a week off now, haven't you, just to recover?
Yeah, I've got a week off, David, and then I've got a second 11 match, Leicestershire v Worcestershire at Melton Mowbray.
It sounds all a bit different, doesn't it, that?
That's right, because we have so many second 11 matches to do, all the test panel. But I'll miss this, David. I'll miss the buzz, I'll miss the atmosphere of test match cricket, because to me, you can have the Olympic Games, you can have Wimbledon, you can have the World Cup at football and cricket, but test match day at Lord's, there's nothing in the sporting calendar to compete with that, mate.
Well, Dickie, congratulations on a long and very, very fine career. Enjoy that rest.
Thanks a lot, mate. Thanks, David. Thank you.
A very sad moment there for Dickie Bird, talking with David Gower. Now, the next test match coming up in this series, the third game between England and India, the third Cornhill and